My father worked at Selfridge's in Oxford Street in the 1930s and 40s. Being 102, he's probably the last person alive who actually remembers Mr. Selfridge. This is Mr. Clark's retirement do.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So he was there a long time, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
My name is Sue Stead. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but my father, Jack Coe, is 102 years old, and he started working in Selfridge's in 1934. I'm going to share with you his story. In the 1930s, my mother and father actually met in Selfridge's.
She used to walk through my department and the boys said, "Oh, she's after you, Jack."
She was working in gowns and he was an assistant in the piece goods department. It was called piece goods because fabric was then sold in pieces by the yard, and he sold woolens and tweeds. My father has worked with fabrics all his life. He's always been very, very dapper. What he doesn't know about fabrics isn't worth knowing. Was Selfridge's different to any of the other shops in London? Were there other shops
Well,
like
it was the original shop where you could walk in and walk round.
Yeah.
Because normally, you see, you would only go into shop well, if you wanted something.
Yeah. Whereas in Selfridge's you could browse,
Oh,
could you?
yes, yes.
My father actually remembers Mr. Selfridge quite well, although Mr. Selfridge wouldn't have had a conversation with him because he was a bit too lowly. Mr. Selfridge himself was about 5'8", 5'9". He always wore a black jacket, striped trousers and a top hat. And every morning before 9 o'clock he would stand behind the big clock in Selfridge's doing deep breathing exercises until the bugler sounded the fanfare at 9 o'clock. Mr. Selfridge himself had a private lift, the door to which was behind my father's counter, so my father did see him quite often, although he didn't speak to him much. He would often be seen getting into the lift with very pretty young ladies. Right, here are your medals, had framed nicely for you. Dad joined the army in 1940 for World War II, and before he went he had been promoted to underbuyer in the cottons department. After my father came back from the war, he'd been in the Sudan in the desert, and he returned to the basement in Selfridge's. Must have been a bit of a shock after the desert.
Dreadful. Cold as charity. It was the winter when I got home, you see.
Yeah, oh yeah. After being in the heat of the desert, I should think you were frozen.
After 3 years in the Sudan, you know, it was a bit of a shock.
I don't think he really settled in Selfridge after the war. I don't know if he missed Harry Selfridge being at the helm. Towards the end, Mr. Selfridge didn't take as much pride in his appearance as he had initially and became quite scruffy. Eventually he did become quite poor, really, which is very, very sad. Were you proud to work at Selfridge's?
It was a job, you know.
I think with my father being 102, he's probably the last person alive who actually remembers Mr. Selfridge. And I'm glad that we've been able to share his story, really.